Welcome. Well, let's close the eyes. Just figure out where we are. Notice that beginning space. Take a deep inhale in for 3, 2, 1. Slow exhale out. 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale in, reach the crown of the head a little higher. Keep that connection down to your foundation. Slow exhale out. Keep that length. Keep pushing down to your foundation, but lengthening through the crown of the head. Deep inhale in, really let your whole body expand out. Slow exhale out, pulling it all back in. Press your palms together, and by pressing your palms together, see if you can feel a little more expansion out through the shoulders. And then notice what happens when you press through the tips of your fingers, and see if you can feel that little gap that happens in between your thumb muscle through to your pinky muscle. So when you're pressing down, there's a little tiny hole of air at the base of your palms. So keeping that sensation of that pressing down, bring your hands down to your shins. See if you can feel that same foundation. You can change the crossing of your legs if you would like. And using your hands, take an inhale in, spill the belly out, shine the heart out. And exhale in reverse, back, still grounding down through your root, grounding down through the hands, keeping them active. Inhale, rolling forward, roll the shoulders back, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, rolling back. Full long inhales as you come forward. Full exhales all the way back. Just working on that foundation of the connection of movement and breath. Now, some people would argue that our foundation actually starts with our spine. So that's where the whole nervous system is connected to send the work, to send all those signals out through the rest of the body. Or you can work from the outside in. Your foundation can be from the external to the internal, internal to the external. So find where you would like your foundation. As you breathe, warm up the spine, warm up the breath. On your next inhale, sit up tall. Hold the breath at the top. And notice if you're really crushing your shoulder blades back behind you, that actually slightly cuts off an artery in your heart. But notice if your shoulders are sinking forward and you're rounding into the low back. Find that nice neutral spot where your shoulder blades are floating on the basket of your ribs. And then open the mouth, exhale it out. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. Hold the breath at the top. See if you can feel your palms active, but still widening through your shoulders. So still not compressing the shoulder blades or allowing the shoulders to collapse. Active through the distal extremities, but allowing the four corners of the hips and shoulders to be long and calm. Open the mouth, let it out. Deep inhale in through the nose. Hold the breath. Open the mouth, let it out. Place the hands out in front of you. Keeping that same pressure on the hands, seeing if you can lift that little space in the center of the palm, pressing down, spread the toes, knees slightly behind the hips. Take an inhale in, drop the belly, lift the heart. And exhale in reverse. Take a few cat and cows with your breath. Feel the shoulders widening out, the hips widening out, but feeling that strong foundation pressing down through the tips of the toes, tips of the fingers. And then see if you can really press down through your ring finger and pinky finger, and then lengthen through your middle finger, index finger, and thumb. Same deep breaths. On your next inhale, tuck your toes. Lift the knees and exhale back, downward dog, but keep that action through the hands grounding down. And then inhale, rolling forward. Exhale, rolling back. Notice how that changes the pressure on the hands. Can you still lengthen through the tips of the fingers? Inhale, rolling forward. To plank. Spread the shoulders out and away. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale, floating down, chaturanga. See if you can still lift that little spot down at the base of your palm. Inhale, right back up to plank. Center of the back high. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale, floating down. Inhale, through and up. Your back bend of choice. Roll the shoulders, lift from the center of the stomach. Roll the shoulders back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward. Exhale, floating down. Inhale up, cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes. Inhale, coming up to the balls of the feet. Turn the gaze forward, walk to the front of the mat. Exhale, down, forward fold. Second toe lined up with the ankle, knee, and hip. Release the head. Put a little bend in the knees. Really let the torso go. Feel all the weight spread evenly through the feet. See if you can spread the toes and place the toes back down without gripping. Really feel the torso heavy. And then slowly start to straighten the legs as much as you can. And then inhale, coming halfway up, hands to shins. Exhale, and releasing down, pulling against the backs of the legs. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release and pull. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release a little deeper. Put a deep bend in the knees. Inhale, reach the fingers up. Find that nice neutral spot for the pelvis. Get the chest high. See if you can plug the shoulders back without pinching the shoulder blades back behind you. Same deep breaths. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, lead with the heart, straighten the legs. Inhale, bend in the knees. Reach the fingers up, Utkatasana. Exhale, release. Inhale, coming up. See if you can still feel that foundation down through the feet. Notice how your weight shifts and changes. Exhale, release. Inhale, coming up, Utkatasana. A few deep breaths. Hands to heart center. Right elbow, left thigh. Notice what's happened with your feet. Have you transferred all the weight toward one side? Can you bring it back to center? Can you lengthen through the crown of the head, bend a little deeper into the knees? Notice if the knees are still in line. Same deep breaths. And then inhale, back chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Left elbow, right thigh. Push down with that right hand. Bend a little deeper into the knees. Same deep breaths. Feeling the feet spread. Feel the strength of that foundation. And then inhale, up chair pose. And exhale, lead with the heart. Heel toe the feet out to the edges of your mat. Still letting your feet be parallel. Put a little bend in the knees. Really release the whole torso and let it be heavy. Clasp opposite elbows if you'd like. Maybe grabbing onto the backs of the ankles. However you would like to really let the head and torso be heavy. And reach the right hand to the outside of the left ankle. Bend into the right knee. And reach the left fingers up. Same deep breaths. Still spreading through the toes without gripping. Notice if you're rolling to the outsides or insides of the feet. And gently release, bend into the left knee. Left hand to the outside of the right ankle, right fingers up. Same deep breaths. And gently release, straighten both legs. Then place the hands down. Step back. Take an inhale in plank. Exhale down, chaturanga, shoulders way out, elbows in. Inhale through and up, your back bend of choice. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Bring your right knee up into your chest. Place it down near the right hand. Find that same alignment, second toe, ankle, knee, and hip. Bring the hands to the hips and come up. Bring that left hip a little farther forward, pull back on that right heel. Reach that left heel back, engage the core, relax the shoulders. Find that same float with the shoulder blades on the ribs. Same deep breaths. Right hand down, reach the left fingers up. Go long through that left side. Keep pulling that right hip back, left hip forward. Start to lean up and over. Notice if that right knee is collapsing out or in. Still find that same foundation. Try to not grip the toes. Maybe leaning slightly back. Same deep breaths. And then inhale, come all the way up, crescent. Exhale, chest to thigh, fingertips out. Take the weight forward and up. Pull that left hip back down so it's right next to the right. Maybe bringing the hands to heart center for a breath. And bend into the right knee. Send that left foot all the way back. Inhale, coming up, crescent. Exhale, hands to heart center, left elbow, right thigh. Push down with that right hand. Notice if that back heel is pointing straight up. See if you can still feel solid by spreading those left toes. Notice if your palms are still pushing in toward each other, trying to lift the center of the palm. Those right toes spread and open. Maybe opening the arms or bind if it's in your practice. Deep breaths. Same long inhales and long exhales. And slowly unwind. Place the back knee down and tuck the toes. Take an inhale in. Exhale, floating back. Flex the right toes, crown of the head down. Inhale, heading all the way forward. And exhale, releasing back. Inhale, heading forward. And exhale, heading back. Inhale, heading forward one more time. Plant the hands. Tuck the left toes. And then send that right foot gently back and up. And release that right hip. Are you still grounding down through the fingers? Still feeling that little lift at the heel of the palm? Take a breath in downward dog, and then inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale, floating down, chaturanga. Inhale through and up. Exhale back for child's pose. Take a few deep breaths. Maybe rocking gently from side to side. Notice if that right hip feels a little different than the left. And then slowly find your way downward facing dog. Bring that left foot forward. Place it down near that left hand, hands to your hips. Inhale, coming up. Feeling that foundation pulling in toward each other, engaging all the way from that same root that we had when we were seated. Lengthening through the crown of the head, finding that breath. Back knee down if you need to. Otherwise, just keep right on breathing. Working our way from the bottom up. Getting those hips activated. Our hip and our connection down to our feet is all so interconnected. Find that breath. Left hand down, reach the right fingers. Maybe leaning slightly to the left. Maybe back. Notice if that left leg is still strong, leaning to one side or the other. Listen to your breath. Inhale, reach up, crescent. Exhale, chest to thigh. Weight forward and up. Breathe. Feel that foundation on the left foot, spreading the toes, feeling wide in the foot. Maybe hands to heart center for a breath. Pull that right hip back down. One more inhale in. Exhale, float all the way back. Crescent pose. And heart center. Right elbow, left thigh. Same deep breaths. Maybe opening the arms. Bind if it's in your practice. Notice what thoughts are coming up. Notice where your breath is. stopping anywhere along the way. Remember that that back knee is there if you need it. How are your feet doing? What are your feet doing? And slowly unwind. Back knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale in. Exhale, float it back. Inhale, coming forward. Are the feet still active? Does that hamstring stay active? Exhale, heading back. Inhale forward. Exhale gently back. Inhale forward one more time. Plant the hands, tuck the right toes, send that left foot back and up, release. Place it down as you're ready, downward facing dog. Inhale, floating forward to plank. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale through and up. Exhale back, child's pose. A few deep breaths. Long inhales and long exhales. I find it interesting when I work on my foundation, I usually find myself getting frustrated. Not totally sure why, but for me, I just oftentimes find it boring. Or I find it challenging in ways that I don't enjoy as much. I like when things have this flow and connection. I like not working on my foundation most of the time. Don't let me project onto you. Maybe you're enjoying it and really loving it. But I know for me, it's often the things that are the hardest to work on that are the most beneficial. Slowly find your way up to tabletop. And tuck the toes and come into plank. Engage the core. Press down through the tips of the fingers. Feel that heel of the hand slightly lifting. Widen through the shoulders. Take an inhale in. Exhale one forearm at a time down to forearm plank. Interlace the fingers except for the pinky and ring. Feel long through the crown of the head. Slight round in the low back so that the core is doing all the work. Same long inhales and long exhales. Bring your feet together back behind you. Our core is another one of our foundations. All of our balance and strength comes from our core, our breath. Right fingertips toward the left elbows. Roll onto the outside of the right foot. Left fingers up. Same deep breaths. Try and give the hips a little higher. Use those obliques. Use your breath. Feel that pressing down through that forearm, that lengthening that right shoulder away. Slowly coming back through center, right elbow to right fingers, left fingers to right elbow, roll onto the outside of the left foot. Right fingers up. Same deep breath. Lengthen, lift. Pressing down so you can lift away. And then back through center. Interlace the fingers. Engage the core. Pull the elbows toward the big toes. Find that little shake and quiver. And place the hips down. Palms down. Roll the shoulders back. Release the core. And releasing down, right arm out to the right side. Left hand under the left shoulder, bend the left knee. Send that left heel up and over. Pressing down with that right palm in that same way. Grounding down through the pinky and ring finger, lengthening through the middle finger, index finger, and thumb. Maybe reaching those left fingers up and back. Keeping that right shoulder active while opening. Deep breaths. Slowly coming back through center. Left hand out to the left side. Right hand under the right shoulder, bend the right knee. Send that right heel up and over. Press down with that left palm. Maybe reaching with the right fingers. Open that left shoulder. Release down through the left collarbone. Deep breaths. Gently release, coming back through center. Interlace the hands behind the back. Lift the wrists, shoulders. Big toes together, heels up. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Long inhales, long exhales. And gently release all the way back for child's pose. Moving our way up through the second and third chakra, up through our center. Our balance, our core, our breath, our confidence. It's another important foundation. And then find your way to downward facing dog. Bring that right foot forward. Place the left heel down. Open up, warrior two. Same foundation in the feet. Just pulling the feet in toward each other. Tucking the hips under. Engage the core. Lengthen. Feel that soft release in the shoulder blades. Right elbow, right thigh. Left arm up and over. Feel that left shoulder plug in and pull back. Feel that right shoulder get a little farther away from the right ear. Like you're trying to look underneath that left tricep. deep breaths. And then inhale, heading back, peaceful warrior. Straighten the right leg. Reach with the right fingers, tuck that right hip under and down. Pull that right heel back. Engage through the hamstrings. Pull that left shoulder back. Plug it in. Same deep breaths. And then inhale coming up. Turn the right toes in, turn the left toes out. Feel the feet pulling in toward each other. Spread the toes, grounding down. Bend into the left knee. Tuck the hips under, reach the fingers out. Broaden and lengthen through the shoulders. Same deep breaths. Pull the feet toward each other. Left elbow, left thigh, right arm up and over. Plug the shoulders in. Lengthen through the tips of the fingers. Same deep breaths. Heading back, peaceful warrior. Bend into that left knee, reach with the left fingers. Straighten the left leg. Reach, tuck that left hip under, reach the right hip back, start to make your way down. Still plugging that right shoulder in, pulling that left shoulder back. Feeling that length from fingertip to fingertip. Same deep breaths. And find your way up. Turn the left toes in, turn the right toes out, bend into that knee, find your way down. Right foot back to meet the left. Take an inhale in. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale through and up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. And find your way forward to plank and down to your back. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the side, right hand to your heart, left hand to your diaphragm. Feel the heart rate decrease. Breath long. Feel that sinking down. Same contact down into the mat. And then slowly bring your knees up into your chest. Roll gently up and down until you come to seated. Place your hands back behind you. Place the right heel over the left knee. Stay here, flexing the right toes, walking your feet and hands in a little closer. Or you can walk that left foot over toward the right side of your mat, keeping the right toes flexed. Start to place the right knee down on top of the left foot. See if you can really stack the shins. And then feel the lengthening through the low back and its connection down to the hips. Maybe just spending some time here working on trying to get that knee down. Maybe starting to walk the hands out. If you feel any round in the low back, then come back up and only walk your hands out in order to get your belly closer to out over those shins. Really opening from the hips, finding the same space we found in our shoulders. Feel the hips expanding out to the sides. If your body just really hates this, you can feel free to stay back and just let that hip release. Take a few deep breaths, closing the eyes. You can even drift slowly from side to side and feel how that releases down into the hips, into the low back. And then slowly find your way up. Hands back behind you. Left foot, lift, place the right foot down, cross the left. Notice what happens when your hands are a little closer. Roll the shoulders back a little more, flex the left toes a little more, and maybe walking those right toes over. Keep those left toes active. Maybe just working on getting that left knee down. Feeling long through the spine. Maybe walking the fingers out. This side probably feels a little different than the other. This is one of the most asymmetrical poses. You'll notice the biggest difference in this pose often from one side to another. Find those same long inhales and long exhales we had when we were seated comfortably. Maybe closing the eyes, focusing on the widening in the hips, lengthening in the low back. Lengthening of the breath. And slowly find your way up. Place the hands back. Right foot down, lift, release. And then roll back to your forearms. Release the toes, relax the shoulders, release the head back. A few deep breaths, lengthening through the spine. And releasing all the way down. Pull your knees up into your chest. And rock from side to side, release the low back. You can either place the soles of your feet together, take a little time in Supta Baddha Konasana, or if you would like to invert, start to send your heels up into the sky, flex the toes back towards you. If you can't quite get your heels straight up, then maybe just stay here, working on getting those heels higher, engaging your core. Or maybe send your toes up over your head, come into plow. Maybe just working on getting your toes down toward the earth. If they've made contact, then maybe reaching slowly up into the sky, hands high up on your back. Be sure all the weight is in your shoulders and elbows by letting your shoulders come farther and farther away from your ears. Same deep breaths. Slowly find your way back down, back through plow. Gently roll down. You can come into Happy Baby, classic reaching inside of the knees, outside of the feet. Or I've been playing with this Supta Baddha Konasana variation. You actually bring your hands to the outsides of your ankles, bring the soles of your feet together, and then start to let your knees release and relax down. It's just a wonderful way to really release through the low back. As you're ready, lengthen out. Pull that right knee in. Reach the left heel out. Let the right hand release out to the side. Pull the right knee over the body. And then wherever you're holding on with that left hand, start to straighten the right leg. See if you can flex those right toes back toward you, just opening up a little more through the hip and low back. Feeling the weight of that right shoulder down, the weight of the body. Deep breaths. Keeping that leg as straight as you can. Release your hands out to the sides. Pull that right heel back through center. Reach it up. Let it fall out to the right side. Grab onto the right leg wherever you would like. With the right hand, flexing those right toes back. And again, keeping that leg straight, release the arms. Bring that right leg back through center. Then extend it out to meet the left. Pull that left knee in. Grab onto that knee with the right hand. Pull it over the body. Straighten that left leg to whatever degree is comfortable. Hold on to it with the right fingertips. Feel the length through the spine, length down through the outside of that left leg. Same deep breaths. Keeping that left leg nice and straight, release the arms. Bring that left leg back through center. And then all the way out to the left. Same deep breaths. letting the arms remain heavy. Bring that left foot back through center, and then extend it out to meet the right. Bring the knees up, the heels towards your glutes. Press the heels down, lift the hips up. Rolling onto the shoulders, interlace the hands underneath you if you would like. And gently release down. Heel toe your feet out to the edges of your mat. Let your knees fall in toward each other. Release and relax. And let both knees fall over to the left side. You can cross that left ankle over the right knee if you would like to find a little more of an internal rotation. You can turn the gaze toward the right if you'd like to feel a little more of that twist all the way through the spine, or even reach the right fingertips out. Place that left foot back down. Bring the knees back through center and over to the right side. You can cross that right ankle over the left knee if you would like. Maybe reaching those left fingers out, maybe gazing toward those left fingers. And then slowly back through center. Feet the width of your mat. Let your knees collapse in. And then straighten the legs out. And let the toes fall away from each other. You can tuck one shoulder blade and then the other. Crown of the head long. Release the jaw and tongue. Allow your awareness to focus on your nervous system. Focus on the sensations of the air and the sensations of your body down on the earth. And see if you can feel that pressure down on the earth as an opportunity to release and relax any spot of the body that is connected to the earth. Feeling your foundation spreading out as if you were candle wax melting. Then feel the spots of the body that are touching the air. Allow those sensations to float, to get lighter and lighter. And then feeling yourself in the center between these two spaces. In that perfect balance. Spreading out on your foundation as you float, release. allowing yourself the ease of breath, allowing yourself to integrate, to heal, allowing yourself just to be. Slowly find your way back. Notice your breath. Invite it back in. Listening to that breath, decide if you would like to stay here in that balance between melting and floating, or start to activate the body however feels natural, keeping the eyes softly shut. Either staying down on the earth or find your way back to that same comfortable seated position. Allowing that breath wherever you are. Notice if your nervous system is sitting a little easier. If your breath is coming a little calmer. If your thoughts seem just a little bit further apart. And maybe that foundation seems a little more solid. Just a little something extra upon which to build.